I used to be a sex addict, so I checked myself into a marriage. Yeah, my wife, the first time slept in my place, she threw away all my sheets, and I'm like, why? She's like, I'm not sleeping in the same place that you had sex with other women. I'm like, well, you're gonna buy me a new car too. And a dryer. Get a new cousin. I'm 45, my wife is 33, so the songs that I like as a kid, she knows from Dance Dance Revolution. She's like, who did you find hot when you were younger? I'm like, I don't know, Pamela Anderson. She's like, is she still alive? I was like, not on the inside. She was on Facebook, and there was one of those quizzes that said, what Spice Girl are you? I'm like, baby, what Spice Girl am I? She said, Old Spice. I did a show and some girl came up to me and she was really pretty and she was like, you want to hang out later? And I was like, sorry, I'm married. And she was hot, so I really was sorry I was married. You don't get points for not cheating. It should be like your car insurance. Like you don't get an accident, your insurance goes down, right? Like you don't cheat, your wife goes down. Yes, they'll call it ball state. When my wife was in labor, I didn't know what to do. They handed me the baby afterwards. I was nervous. I took off, my wife said, take off your shirt. Skin on skin contact is better. So I did. I posted a picture and put it on Instagram. And people were like, were you trying to breastfeed the baby too? My wife used to breastfeed him, my daughter, who'll go for my nipple, and nothing came out. But I feel like I was teaching her a very valuable lesson, which is that men are going to let you down. I went to American Girl, most expensive doll place you've ever seen. If your doll breaks, they'll put in a wheelchair to cast, fix it, and then give it back to you. The doll has better health care than I do. And it's legit, because our doll broke, we took it in, they put an Oxycontin, now it's a heroin addict. I did a show one time, there was a huge guy in the front, he was the quarterback for the Bills. I'm like, sir, what do you do? I play football for the Bills. I'm like, what position? He goes, I'm 6'6" and I'm white. What do you think? I'm like, bench. I like football, but it's too commercialized. Guy gets touchdown. That touchdown was brought to you by Gillette. That field goal was brought to you by Midas. I just want to watch football. What's next? Porn? That teabag is brought to you by Lipton. That money shot was brought to you by Western Union. Always on time. Some of you are rappers getting smaller. Like when I was a kid, it was Biggie Smalls and Big Pun and Fat Joe. Now it's Little John, Little Wayne, Little Yachty, Little Pump. In 10 years, the Bulimic Bob. If I was a rapper, I'd be Little Vegan. That way I have no beef. The rapper Flow Rider got a DUI. His name is now Cab Rider. There was a rapper named Designer, the guy who sings Panda, Panda. He got accused of masturbating on an airplane and he got charged with hijacking. I live in Los Angeles, all these homeless people living in tents. It is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, I gotta cheer these people up. So I went out and got a bear costume. To give them the full camping experience. I was Cocaine Bear. It's horrible. There's more needles on the ground than in Nancy Pelosi's forehead. I did a show at a Native American casino on Columbus Day. Yeah, the crowd wanted to laugh, but they had the reservations. I did a show in Tennessee, and there was a Jehovah's Witness convention in my hotel. I got no sleep. They knocked on my door 400 times. I did a show in Utah. It was a 2-wife minimum. My wife is Christian, but also a freak in bed, so before I eat her ass, I always say grace. I try to volunteer. I used to work with kids that had cancer, and they're very inspiring, these kids. Like, one kid was in a wheelchair, and I'm like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she was like, I want to be a dancer. And I'm like, you can do that. Because right there, there's a guy out there who has no idea where he is, and he's the president. Take my daughter to wrestling practice, and when she was young, and she's 5 now, but she was 3, one little kid was like, I could do 12 pull-ups, and one kid's like, I could do 14 pull-ups. My daughter's like, I wear pull-ups in my sleep. So I was actually ranked 3rd in my high school in wrestling. I was homeschooled. Grandma was a beast. I used to play football. I was terrible. All I knew was hit the guy with the ball, which is bad because I played offense. I used to love wrestling. I used to pray before all my matches. I'd be like, please, God, let me win this match, and I always won. And then I started praying before everything. Before sex, I was like, please, God, let me get a boner. And then one time for my wrestling match, I got the prayers confused. My opponent was like, I'm not wrestling this kid. This is bullshit. And that's how I won state championship. I hate when the girls expect the guy to pay the first night because you're the man and she's an escort. I took home a girl one time. She's like, do you have a condom? I'm like, no, I have a bank statement. That'll stop you from getting pregnant. I wish it was hotter in here. How did I break my ankle? I was carrying my kid down the stairs and I fell. But my kid was okay, but okay, this is not a town meeting. What the fuck is going on right now? What are you, my lawyer? Fucking, thank you. I wrestled in Maine. All right, thank you. All right, this is not a job interview. Fucking. 103, 112, 125, and 140. But thank you for. That's my nutritionist, Bob. Where are you going? You saw the light, started walking towards it? She got bored with our conversation. She said, I'd rather take a shit right now than listen to this bullshit. I'm broke. I work for this nonprofit company. It's called My Career. Now I just lie. My friend's like, why are you so broke? I had a huge gambling problem. Oh, what'd you gamble on? Success? I can't even look my bank teller in the eye because she knows how broke I am. I deposited $9 one time. She was like, yay! She gave me a balloon and a helmet. These young kids, Generation Z, you guys don't even want to have kids anymore. No young kids don't want to have kids. There's going to be one person who's going to save the planet. Nick Cannon. I do smoke weed. When I'm high, I can't decide if my thoughts are brilliant or the dumbest ideas ever. I'm like, you think girls with diabetes have sugar daddies? If you ghost a girl in a wheelchair, does that mean you stood her up? You guys married?
No.
Oh, well, okay. You single? You divorced?
Single.
Single. Okay. So, were you ever married?
Sort of.
Sort of. The plot thickens, and so does my penis. How are you sort of married?
Because the judge says he was just a man married to you.
The judge said he was a man married to you?
My husband.
Okay, so it's for a green card or something? Or? I've never got that answer before in my entire life. So were you like, hey, will you marry me? You said, maybe? It was a fraud case. Oh, okay. What the fuck? Where am I right now? Fucking doing comedy for the first 48. So he was married to you, but he was married to someone else too?
No.
All right, tell everyone what happened. We all want to hear. He was married to you, but not really?
Well,
He was a fraud.
the judge just said you were never her husband. You were just a man married to her.
Oh, okay.
He's a bad guy.
Okay, so I'm not really a comedian. I'm just a guy telling jokes. So you had a wedding, and you got married, but it didn't really. Was it David Blaine or something? Did you guys all know about this fraudulent marriage, and you didn't say shit? You guys should all be ashamed of yourselves. Were you
It was a financial fraud.
a financial fraud? Okay, all right.
But I'm okay.
You seem it. Did you sue for fake alimony? Oh, he didn't have any money?
Exactly.
Oh, fuck. He had your money. He had your money. All right, you want to get married after the show? Trying to stay fit. I used to race horses. Always lost because horses are fast. Went to an anger management meeting. It was me and a bunch of birds. I was watching this one TV show where they starve these animals and make them fight each other. It's called America's Next Top Model.